प्रस्थान करें। Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands on Gandhi ji. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji. आप सबसे अनुरोध है, अनुशासन बनाए रखिए। मैं सम्मानित अतिथियों से मैं सम्मानित अतिथियों से अनुरोध करती हूं कि वो बढ़कर दीप का प्रज्वलन करें। डॉक्टर सिंघवी जी, हमारे बीच हमारे सम्मानित नेतागण, सीनियर लीडर्स, सीडब्ल्यूसी मेंबर्स, सांसद और इस देश के कोने कोने से आए हुए वो तमाम लोग हैं जो संविधान की रक्षा दिन रात करते हैं। दीप प्रज्वलन से हम इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करते हैं। And welcome the Honorable Congress President, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji. I request Shri Vivek Tankha ji to come up on stage to welcome our Leader of Opposition, Shri Rahul Gandhi ji. This way, sir. Shri Vivek Tankha ji to felicitate Leader of Opposition Shri Rahul Gandhi ji, Shri Harin Rawal ji to welcome the Chairman Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji. And Shri Omar Hoda ji to welcome Shri Muhammad Ali Khan ji. Good morning, namaskar, and a very, very warm welcome to the National Legal Conclave being organized by the Law, the RTI, and the Human Rights Department of the Indian National. We committed ourselves to the Constitution, which has been our guiding light for large part of independent history. We were formed as a democratic country with a universal adult franchise, for every Indian citizen of voting age. We were organized as a federal structure that had separation of powers between the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. इस बात का गर्व है कि स्वतंत्रता संग्राम के बाद आजाद हिंदुस्तान में हमारे संविधान ने इस देश के सबसे गरीब और सबसे अमीर आदमी को, इस देश के एक दिहाड़ी मजदूर से लेकर इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री तक को एक बराबर का हक दिया, एक बराबर का सम्मान दिया और एक ही वोट की ताकत दी। इस देश के संविधान ने सदियों से वंचित, शोषित, हाशिए पर पड़े उन तमाम दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, पिछड़े वर्ग के लोगों को आगे बढ़ने का एक मार्ग प्रशस्त किया। आप किस धर्म, किस जाति, किस भाषा को बोलते हो, कैसी आपकी वेशभूषा हो, किस वर्ग के आप हो, किस लिंग के आप हो, इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि इस देश के संविधान के लिए हर भारतीय एक बराबर है। This is the polity that our founding fathers stood for, and we are very, very proud to say that our founding fathers belonged to the Indian National Congress. This is our structure our great Indian Republic was built upon. This is what each one of us inherited, and each one of us here and beyond is committed to defending. Our values have stood the test of time, and these values have shaped us to be a socialist, pluralistic, secular, and a liberal democracy. ये वही सिद्धांत और आदर्श हैं जिन पर तमाम कांग्रेस की सरकार ने मजबूती से काम किया। एक एक ईंट को जोड़कर 2004 से 14 के बीच में यूपीए की सरकार अधिकारों की क्रांति लाई, जिसमें मनरेगा, खाद्य सुरक्षा, सूचना का अधिकार, शिक्षा का अधिकार, स्वास्थ्य के अधिकार जैसे बड़े बड़े कानून शामिल हैं, और इन्हीं सब के चलते हुए 27 करोड़ लोगों को गरीबी से उबारा गया। But over the last decade or a little more, as a nation, we have witnessed the longest departure in our independent history from our values, our principles, and all that defines us. The secular fabric of our nation has been threatened. The Indian government has attacked the agrarian heart of our economy. After many decades, we are seeing linguistic tussles come to the fore in our republic. We are witnessing an economy that has concentrated more power, more wealth, more land, more resources in the hands of a chosen few. The breakdown of the federal spirit in our constitution has been unprecedented, and the further marginalization of the backward communities, of the Dalits, of the tribals, and the women has been very, very stark. These are precisely the issues of critical importance which will be discussed here at the inaugural session and the 4 others that follow through the course of the day. आज जब हम सब यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं, तब एसआईआर के माध्यम से बिहार में वोट की दिन दहाड़े चोरी की जा रही है, और इससे गरीबों, वंचितों, दलितों, वासियों, पिछड़े वर्ग के गरीबों के उसको छीना जा रहा है जो उनका सबसे ताकतवर हथियार है, और वो है वोट का अधिकार। इससे पहले कि मैं सम्मानित वक्ताओं को आमंत्रित करूं, मुझे गर्व है कि आज विज्ञान भवन के सभागार में वो लोग मौजूद हैं जो संसद में, देश के तमाम कोर्ट रूम में और अन्य जगहों पर बुलंदी से लोगों के अधिकार के लिए और अन्याय के खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं। The Congress Party doesn't just have an exemplary political leadership, but we also have the deepest talent and bench strength, from the trials and the district courts of the land to about 700 magisterial district courts to 25 high courts and to the apex court, the Supreme Court right here in New Delhi. Without any delay, may I now request the Secretary of the Department of Law, Human Rights and RTI, Shri Muhammad Ali Khan ji, to come and deliver his welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Congress President, Honorable Leader of Opposition Shri Rahul Gandhi ji, Honorable Chairman Saab, members of the CWC, members of Parliament, Honorable General Secretaries, and Secretaries of the Congress, and my fellow delegates. It is an honor to welcome you to this session. My friends, सन 2011 की बात थी, मैं जयराम रमेश जी के साथ राहुल जी से मिलने गया। विषय था भूमि अधिग्रहण कानून, और जो मसौदा जयराम जी ने राहुल जी को दिखाया, उसमें उन्होंने कॉम्पनसेशन और रिहेबिलिटेशन और रीसेटलमेंट के प्रावधान दिखाए राहुल जी को। राहुल जी ने सुना उसके बारे में और सिर्फ एक ही सवाल पूछा, इसमें उनके लिए क्या है जिनकी जमीन जा चुकी है? What is there in this law for those who have suffered historical injustices? Now, my fellow lawyers know how difficult it is to draft a retrospective clause. But that is where the retrospective clause was born, Section 24(2). Section 24(2) के माध्यम से लाखों लोगों को उनकी जमीन वापस मिली. And they all owe their gratitude to this one gentleman. पिछले साल की बात है, मुझे केसी वेणुगोपाल जी आज आ नहीं पाए, मगर आई वुड बी रिमिस इफ आई डिड नॉट टेल यू द स्टोरी. मुझे उनका फोन आया रात के 1 बजे कि कुछ बच्चे गिरफ्तार हो गए, प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे दिल्ली में, उनकी मदद कर दो. मैंने सोचा शायद एनएसयूआई आईवाईसी के लोग होंगे. मैंने वकील भेजे और वो बेसिक प्रोटेस्ट प्रोविजंस थे, केस हो गया क्वॉश. बाद में मुझे अंदाजा हुआ इन बच्चों को तो पता ही नहीं था कि केसी वेणुगोपाल जी ने भेजा है हम लोगों को. वो सोचे थे हमें एनएसयूआई या किसी स्टूडेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने भेजा है. दैट इज अनदर एग्जांपल आई वांट टू शेयर विद यू. एंड फाइनली मैं आपको एक बात बताना चाहता हूं. हमारे ऑनरेबल सीपी साहब यहां बैठे हैं. ये 2 साल पहले की बात है. एक आदमी था, वो सीपी साहब का उसे नंबर मिल गया था और वो सीपी साहब को फोन करके वो धमकियां देता था. हम लोगों ने पुलिस में शिकायत की, वो ट्रेस हो गया, वो गिरफ्तार हो गया. अब कुछ दिन के बाद, एज माय फेलो लॉयर्स नो, किसी को स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करने जाना था, तो मैंने नरेश भाई को फोन मिलाया सीपी साहब के दफ्तर में. मैंने कहा नरेश भाई वो गिरफ्तार हो गया, उसके खिलाफ सारे सबूत इकट्ठे हो गए हैं, वो स्वीकार रहा है कि उसने किया है, आप कोई किसी को भेज दीजिए स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए. नरेश भाई टोल्ड मी, सीपी साहब ने कहा छोड़ दो, गरीब आदमी है, बेरोजगार है. ये है कांग्रेस, ये है हमारे नेता, ये है वो मिसाल. These are the lamps that light our way. Where else will you find leaders who, without seeking the credit for it, will focus only on addressing a historical injustice, will focus solely on the fact that those people who have been deprived have to be given some remedy? Where else will you find this magnanimity towards people who don't deserve it, and they never speak a word about it? ये है कांग्रेस. मेरे सारे डेलीगेट्स आज यहाँ मौजूद हैं. I am honored to be one of you. हर राज्य से आज वकील आए हैं, ऑलमोस्ट. डॉक्टर सिंघवी विल गिव द डिटेल्स. बट आप सबके सब जो हैं, आई एम ऑनर्ड एंड प्राउड टू कॉल यू माय कॉलीग्स फॉर अ सिंपल रीजन. पिछले 10 साल में हर कांग्रेसी एक परीक्षा से गुजरा है, और उस परीक्षा में जो सफल हुए हैं वो 2 क्वालिटीज के साथ उभर के आए हैं. एक निडरता और दूसरा जिद्दीपन. हर कांग्रेसी जो आज है वो निडर है और वो जिद्दी है. And I find that to be especially true of my fellow lawyers, because I know for a fact that every single one of you has borne a professional as well as a financial cost from being associated with the opposition. I know that for a fact, and yet you stand. मुझे गर्व होता है, I would be remiss if I did not tell this. हर राज्य में जब मैं फोन करता हूं कि हमें वकीलों की जरूरत है, हमारे लोगों के लिए वकीलों की जरूरत है, सिर्फ एक सवाल करते हैं मेरे सहयोगी, बताओ कहां जाना है और कब जाना है? You are the bricks in the wall that stands between lawlessness and the opposition. You are our delegates. और मुझे फख्र होता है, मुझे गर्व होता है ये कहते हुए that I have you to welcome today. Thank you so much for coming and making this event a success. आप हैं कांग्रेस. Finally, हम कांग्रेसियों से बार बार आलोचक और समालोचक दोनों पूछते हैं, आप लोगों की विचारधारा क्या है? आप लोगों की विचारधारा क्या है? कांग्रेस की एक यूनिफाइंग आइडियोलॉजी क्या है? इस सवाल का जवाब हमारे प्रिय राहुल जी ने पिछले 2 साल में क्लियरली दे दिया. When he holds up that Constitution of India without saying a word, that is our ideology. वो है हमारी uniting theory. वो है the umbrella that's under which we all stand together. राहुल जी, मैं आप लोगों से गुजारिश करूंगा कि प्लीज आप बैठ जाएं. मैं आपसे इतना कहूंगा कि पिछले सालों में हमारे पास जो चुनौतियां आई, हमने प्रयास किया है कि हम अपनी तरफ से that we stand with you to the best of our abilities. राहुल जी, हर वकील जो यहाँ मौजूद है, मैं आपको अश्योर कर रहा हूँ, हर वकील जो यहाँ मौजूद है, I am assuring you, will follow you wherever you lead. We stand behind you. We are proud of you. We are honored to call you and Kharge Saab our leaders. You have set a remarkable example for us. And my friends, वो ये मत भूलिएगा, जब भी अगर आपके दिल में डाउट आए, जब भी आपको सोच में आए कि कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे, we are just one people and we are in the opposition. No. We are more than that. We are the Congress. हम है कांग्रेस. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मोहम्मद जी. और बिल्कुल हम हैं कांग्रेस और इस विचारधारा के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं. I now welcome the Chairman of the Law, Human Rights and the RTI Department, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji, to kindly deliver the Chairman's address. As one of India's most distinguished lawyers, Dr. Singhvi has deftly handled high-profile cases with eloquence and precision. एक वकील के तौर पर अपने लीगल और बतौर राजनेता अपने पॉलिटिकल एक्यूमेन के लिए विख्यात सिंघवी जी की लगातार बढ़ती मांग और स्पेशली आजकल के दिनों में इस बात का सबूत है कि द्वेष और प्रतिशोध की राजनीति में संविधान और कानून के सामने बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं और आप जैसों पर यह जिम्मेदारी है कि इस जटिल परिस्थिति के आगे रास्ता निकाला जाए. डॉक्टर सिंघवी जी.
Honorable Congress President Kharge ji, Honorable Leader of the Opposition Rahul ji, Treasurer Makin ji in absentia. I get a little worried whenever our treasury is absent. It's a very seriously dangerous sector to be absent in. We are trying to trace him out. My department secretary Mohammad Khan, Supriya ji, respected members of the Congress Working Committee, Honorable Chief Ministers, all three of our Chief Ministers are here. I'm proud of that. Former Union Cabinet Ministers, former Chief Ministers, General Secretaries, PCC Presidents, Members of Parliament from both houses, State in charges, distinguished colleagues, delegates, friends, and above all, lawyers, human rights and RTI activists from every nook and cranny of India. And I'll give you some points in a moment about that. Friends, when I last had the privilege of heading this composite department over 15 years ago, at a similar national convention at this very same venue in 2010, in the presence of then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and the then Congress President Srimati Sonia Gandhi, whose presence I sorely miss today, I had said that the only sentiment I have is one of being overwhelmed. I experience exactly the same feeling today. Kharge ji has remarkably altered the date of a medical operation in his immediate family, originally scheduled today morning, to honor us by his presence. His commitment to Congress causes is truly phenomenal. Rahul ji agreed immediately on my one call to block his morning amidst his frenetic schedule. We have 42 top Congress functionaries speaking today, all readily participating at my request. That includes all our sitting CMs, each one of them, and a host of the senior-most leadership across all senior designations who will embellish our day-long proceedings today. Over 2,200 lawyers are here across the length and breadth of India. The only geographical areas not represented are Andaman, Nicobar, Dadar Nagar Haveli, Lakshadweep, and Sikkim. As I speak, there are 1,650 lawyers in this hall and in hall 5 and 6 of this building, Vigyan Bhavan, where we have live screening. That is 1650. We have at least 200 more crowding the aisles of all the three halls. And I regret to say, but I'm very happy to note that there are about 600 or 500 odd outside who are either going to be accommodated later or who are being directed to live streaming at AICC headquarters or Akbar Road and to our new auditorium at Indira Bhavan. Both are open for them. माननीय कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष राहुल जी, वकील समुदाय एवं मानवाधिकार और पारदर्शिता के सिपाही हर समाज का प्रबुद्ध और जागरूक वर्ग होता है. विश्व में ये समूह फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर होता है. इस वर्ग के हर एक व्यक्ति में शक्ति है कि न्यूनतम 1000 लोगों को प्रभावित करे। यह सिर्फ संयोग नहीं है कि 1885 में कांग्रेस के पहले अध्यक्ष और पहले अधिवेशन की अध्यक्षता की थी वोमेश चंद्र बनर्जी ने, जो एक सफल वकील थे। हमारी पूंजी, हमारी जीएनपी, गांधी, नेहरू, पटेल का सबका कानून से बहुत निकट संबंध रहा है। हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की हर कड़ी जुड़ी है इन तबकों से। राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी से लेके बाबा साहेब अंबेडकर, राजगोपालाचारी साहब से लेकर लाला लाजपत राय, मदन मोहन मालवीय से लेकर सीआर दास, और आपको जिनको रोचन इंटरेस्ट हो, अगर आप रुचि हो तो देखिए मोतीलाल नेहरू के इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न्स 1920 और 30 के। वो हिंदुस्तान के सबसे सफल वकील थे जिनका योगदान, वो प्रिवी काउंसिल जाया करते थे बहस करने, उनका योगदान स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में कितना रहा है। I stand before you not just as a lawyer or a parliamentarian, but I stand before you as a deeply concerned citizen of the Republic of India. A republic born out of dreams dreamt during the darkest nights of colonial oppression. A republic scripted not merely on paper, but in blood, sweat, and tears of our freedom fighters. A republic whose constitutional soul today stands tested, tarnished, and threatened. The title of today's event, Constitutional Challenges, Perspectives, and Pathways, could not be more timely, more urgent, or more consequential. For the truth is bitter but unavoidable. We are living through a moment where the Constitution is not merely ignored, it is being twisted into a tool of domination. The very values that gave us democratic breath, liberty, fraternity, equality, justice, are all now gasping for air. Let me remind this August gathering that the Constitution of India is not an administrative manual. It is a moral mission. It is not just a legal contract between citizens and the state. It is the living, beating heart of our democracy. And in crafting of this magnificent document, the Congress Party did not merely play a role. We were its very womb. It was the Indian National Congress that envisioned it, enabled it, and enacted it through the vision of Nehru, the resolve of Patel, the intellect of Ambedkar, and of course, above all, the moral compass of Gandhi. Let it be recorded without hesitation or humility that the Congress Party is the constitutional conscience keeper of this country. It was Congress that translated freedom into rights, agitation into administration, and revolution into institutions. It was the Congress that gave India the stirring words of our preamble, the directive principles, universal adult franchise. It was the Congress that made India a democracy not just in word or form, but in spirit. And today it must fall again to the Congress to protect, preserve, and if necessary, revive the soul of the Constitution. But friends, what exactly is the challenge we face today? The challenge is not simply one of bad governance or poor economics. It is a deeper, more insidious crisis, the deliberate dismantling of constitutional values under the garb of electoral majority. The Constitution has checks and balances. They are being replaced, unfortunately, with checks spelled C-H-E-Q-U-E-S and bulldozers. The Constitution has rights and remedies. The ruling dispensation offers us raids and rhetoric. The Constitution speaks of liberty. They weaponize loyalty. This is not governance. This is the gaslighting of the Republic. जब लोकतंत्र को सिर्फ वोट तक सीमित कर दिया जाए और संविधान को सिर्फ एक प्रतीक बना दिया जाए, तब समझ लीजिए कि खतरा कागजों से निकलकर नियतों में घुस गया है. Consider this alarming landscape. Governors today act like glorified agents of the ruling party, not constitutional umpires. Speakers suspend opposition en masse but remain mute when ruling party members breach decorum. Investigative agencies are now enforcers of vendetta. The judiciary, with a few honorable exceptions, far too often whispers when it should roar. The balance of power has tilted into an abyss, and constitutional silences are being exploited with constitutional impunity. We must reflect, how did we reach here? And more importantly, how do we reclaim our republic? First, we must stop pretending that this is business as usual. What we are witnessing is not a mere aberration. It is a design, a calculated, organized design. This is not a temporary deviation. It is an ideological project. The project is simple: to convert democracy into dominance, pluralism into polarity, and the Constitution into a convenience. The ruling regime has perfected the art of constitutional mimicry, where they use the language of the Constitution to undermine its very essence. They hold elections but erode institutions. They appoint judges but question judicial independence. They sing Vande Mataram but jail young voices. They lay claim to Ambedkar but bulldoze the very rights he stood for. They quote Ambedkar at dawn and crush his dream by dusk. This is not nationalism. It is narrative warfare. देश से प्रेम का मतलब ये नहीं कि सरकार से सवाल न हो. देशभक्ति का मतलब ये नहीं कि हक की आवाज दबा दी जाए. और संविधान का मतलब ये नहीं कि वो सिर्फ सरकारी किताब बन जाए. As a constitutional lawyer, I can tell you this: a democracy dies only when tanks roll out. Not only when tanks roll out, I'm sorry. It dies when institutions cave in. When constitutional functionaries become partisan puppets. When media becomes a megaphone, not a mirror. When courts begin to delay what they dare not deny. When dissent is sedition, protest is provocation, and every question is anti-national. You know then that the republic is on a ventilator. We must also address this farce of federalism, and we have a session today on federalism in the afternoon. The center today treats states not as partners in progress, but as colonies of compliance. Schemes are launched without consultation. Funds are withheld with political bias. Elected governments are overthrown through money, muscle, and manipulation. This is not cooperative federalism. It is coercive federalism wrapped up as propaganda. So what is the pathway ahead? We are also supposed to talk of pathways today. It must begin with political courage and constitutional clarity. We must reclaim Parliament not as a place for paper bills, but as a theatre of true debate. We must demand from our judiciary not just interpretation, but intervention. We must protect the media not by controlling it, but by freeing it from fear and favor. And above all, we must connect the Constitution to the common man. The Constitution cannot remain the concern of lawyers and academics alone. It must become the lived experience of every farmer, every woman, every student, every worker. And this is what Rahul Gandhi has talked about time and again. Rights are not meant to be read, they are meant to be realized. It is the duty of the Congress party to ensure that from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Kutch to Kohima, every Indian feels the pulse of the preamble. Let me say this with clarity. The fight to save the Constitution is not a legal battle alone. It is a moral struggle. And it is the time we fought it. It is time now to fight it, not with caution, but with conviction. Not with whispers in drawing rooms, but with roars on the street. Not just through statements, but through sustained satyagraha. This is not a moment to lament. It is a moment to lead. Let our message from this particular event today be loud and clear. We will not allow this constitutional coup to succeed. We will not allow India to become a nation of one voice, one party, one ideology. India is not a painting in monochrome. It is a mural of many millions. Erase one hue and the canvas will crack. We believe in the Constitution, in its promise, and we believe in our ability to defend it. संविधान सिर्फ एक किताब नहीं है, ये एक कसम है, और ये कसम कांग्रेस ने सबसे पहले उठाई थी, और जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो सबसे आगे भी कांग्रेस ही खड़ी होएगी. So let us rise not as opposition, but as the original vision. Let us speak not just to win debates, but to win back the nation. Let us act not for political returns, but for constitutional redemption. Let it be said in the annals of history, when the Constitution wept, it was the Congress that wiped its tears. When democracy bled, it was the Congress that bandaged its wounds. And when the Republic trembled, it was the Congress that stood firm like a rock. Jai Hind, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Congress.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर अभिषेक मनु सिंघवी जी। और आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, जिन संस्थाओं के ऊपर लोकतंत्र को बचाने की जिम्मेदारी है, वही लोकतंत्र को तहस नहस करने में जुटी हुई है, और हमारी जिम्मेदारी और बढ़ जाती है. बिफोर वी मूव फर्दर, देयर इज अ स्मॉल वीडियो.
Before you go ahead,
Sure.
Very well. After the video,
Yeah.
Madam Sonia Gandhi talked to me personally more than once and then sent a very nice message, which I will ask Salman Khurshid ji to read. But after the video, let's have the video first.
So we have a small video from the civil society. What do they say about this event, the Constitution? Can we please play the AV?
Hi, I'm Dr. Trishant Sablai, an incoming associate lecturer at the University of Cambridge. In 2024, I published a paper that looked at how digital surveillance technologies that were meant for wildlife monitoring were being used to infringe the rights of local communities that live alongside the Corbett Tiger Reserve. I am very thankful to the AICC and its law department, and I hope that they continue to fight the good fight.
Namaskar. On behalf of the All India Christian Federation, I wish to convey our heartfelt gratitude to the All India Congress Committee's Law, Human Rights and RTI Department. We are especially thankful for the valuable support extended in matters concerning reservations for minority communities, particularly Christians. Through these collective efforts, we believe the path towards greater social justice and equitable rights for minority communities is being made clearer and stronger.
I'm the founding editor of the Reporters Collective. The Reporters Collective began in 2019 by breaking the electoral bond scam, bringing out the document that showed that the government had done this all illegally. There aren't too many lawyers in Delhi who have both the mind and the heart to help journalists like us. They've looked at our work, made sure it's pinpoint accurate, and they have done it innumerable number of times pro bono. From my experience of last 25 years, I can vouch for it. It's partners like these who help make sure press remains free despite all the challenges that we face today.
Hello, namaste. I'm Yashoda Vakankar and I'm founder and director of Samvedana Foundation. Samvedana Foundation is a charitable trust and we are working for people with epilepsy. I feel that people with epilepsy have fundamental rights to get an insurance. We are normal people and I feel that society should treat us as normal people. I got a very good support from Advocate Khan and his team and they are helping us, they are voice of us in the Supreme Court. We have filed an PIL in Supreme Court and we are hoping for the best.
My name is Joel Riang. I am from Tripura and I would like to thank the law department for helping us in our movement.
For a greener tomorrow, Noble Cause Foundation fights for environmental justice, but legal battles can silence voices. Thanks to AICC's pro bono legal support, we filed a landmark PIL in the Supreme Court on critical environmental issue.
मैं राम नरेश पासवान, राष्ट्रीय महासचिव ऑल इंडिया रेलवे ट्रैक मेंटेनर यूनियन की ओर से जब भी रेल कर्मचारी और श्रमिक वर्ग के अधिकारों पर संकट आता है, तब कांग्रेस पार्टी विशेष रूप से राहुल गांधी जी हमेशा उनके साथ खड़े रहते हैं। इस बार भी हमारे मामलों में सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में कानूनी प्रतिनिधित्व उपलब्ध कराकर और हमें हर संभव सहायता देकर उन्होंने एक बार फिर यह सिद्ध किए हैं कि हर वर्ग की आवाज को महत्व देते हैं।
Hello, my name is Apar Gupta. I'm a practicing lawyer and the founder director of the Internet Freedom Foundation. As an advocacy organization, work on mitigating harmful impacts of digital technologies on the rights of ordinary Indians, which are guaranteed under the Constitution of India. Here, I would like to compliment Mr. Muhammad Khan and also several other people associated with the AICC's legal cell and also the Congress Party for recognizing the urgency as well as the need to safeguard digital rights. Collaboration, this outreach and this support for civil society is comes at an essential point in time in India where there's a shrinking of civic space.
May I now request Shri Salman Khurshid ji to please come up on stage. हम सब की अभिभावक, हमारी प्रेरणा स्रोत और हम सब का मॉरल कंपस आदरणीय कांग्रेस पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी की अध्यक्षा श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी का एक संदेश है जो वो आपके बीच में पढ़ेंगे।
This is the message from the chairperson of the Congress Parliamentary Party, Srimati Sonia Gandhi. The Constitution of India is more than a legal charter. It is the moral foundation of our democracy, built on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. It was shaped through the sacrifices and vision of the Indian National Congress. Even before independence, the Congress Party imagined a constitution by Indians for Indians. From the Nehru Report in 1928 to the demand for a constituent assembly in 1934. Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru laid the groundwork, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, as chairman of the drafting committee, gave form to these ideals. He warned that without social and economic justice, political democracy would be just a top dressing. The Congress recognized this and acted on it, expanding rights, strengthening institutions, and upholding dignity and inclusion. Today, the Constitution is under siege. The BJP RSS, which never fought for freedom or upheld equality, now uses its power to dismantle the very framework it long opposed. Their ideological forebears glorified Manusmriti, rejected the tricolor, and envisioned a Hindu Rashtra, where democracy is hollow and discrimination is the law. In power, they have eroded institutions, criminalized dissent, targeted minorities, and betrayed Dalits, Adivasis, OBCs, and the working poor. Now they seek to erase socialism and secularism, pillars of Ambedkar's vision of equal citizenship. This is not reform, but an ideological coup, replacing our democratic republic with a theocratic corporate state serving the powerful few. India yearns for the inclusion, just and democratic nation envisaged by our freedom fighters and constitutional makers. That is what our Congress party stands for and fights for. We will oppose every attempt to undermine the Constitution in Parliament, in courts, and on the streets. This is not just political, it is our ideological commitment to defend every Indian's dignity. I commend Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and his team for reigniting this vital conversation. Our mission is clear: to reclaim the Republic and protect the rights of each and every person. New Delhi, August 2nd, 2025.
Thank you very much, Shri Salman Khurshid ji. बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। अब हम आगे की कार्रवाई बढ़ाते हैं। आपको अपने नेता को सुनना है, उसके लिए थोड़ा सा अनुशासन बनाना होगा।
Honorable Kharge ji, Siddaramaiah ji, Revant Reddy ji, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu ji, Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji, senior leaders on the dais, my lawyer friends, I'd like to welcome all of you here today. नहीं बॉस, नहीं, मैं राजा नहीं हूं, राजा बनना भी नहीं चाहता हूं। मैं राजा के अगेंस्ट हूं, कॉन्सेप्ट के अगेंस्ट हूं। So, I was thinking what to say to you, the legal fraternity, and something came to mind. As a politician, largest chunk of our job is meeting other politicians. And when you meet a politician, as many of you must have done, he will spend a lot of time talking about peripheral issues, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then eventually, right before he's ready to leave, he'll come to the point. So it's quite frustrating. This is the difference between me and my sister. She has much more patience on this front, so she'll listen, for half an hour, 45 minutes. And I'm thinking, okay, listen, you've come here to tell me something. Cut out the suspense. Tell me why you've come. And this sometimes comes as a shock to us politicians. Because also there's another thing going on. They also need the world to know that the meeting was 1 hour long or 2 hours long. Now, you're exactly the opposite. So, your time is expensive, unlike ours. So you come in and you instantly say what you have to say. And then on the other end of the spectrum is Dr. Singhvi, who who is, I've also dealt with a lot of lawyers, but he is like a laser beam. He will get to the point instantly, and he will cut exactly to what the issue is. And I've got, I don't know, I've lost count, but I think somewhere around 30, 32 cases. And so I discuss, these cases with him. And it's very refreshing because it's literally, Dr. Singhvi, what do you think? And in 30 seconds, he's told me everything I need to understand has been delivered to me in 30 seconds. Now, it's important that you know who you are. In our tradition, in the Eastern tradition, religious tradition, spiritual tradition, what is important is that you understand who you are. In the Western tradition, it's important that you understand everything around you. But in our tradition, it's important that you understand the self and you understand yourself and your own structure. So it's important that you know who you are. First of all, the Congress Party, you're the people who started the Congress Party. So the Congress Party was essentially lawyers, right? And Singhvi, no, and you need to be reminded of this because, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to every lawyer in this country. We would not have got freedom. We would not have got freedom if the lawyers of this country had not fought for freedom. All this talk about constitution, this would not be here if it had not been for lawyers. Singhvi mentioned Gandhi ji, Nehru ji, Patel ji, Ambedkar. Those were the top 5 or 6 people. But if you actually look at the Congress Party in those days, there were other people, thousands and thousands of other lawyers who were operating at a lower level. So the freedom movement was actually fought in large measure legally. Right? So you are the people who are the backbone of the Congress Party. And you are also the people who envisioned this constitution. If you had asked people who did not understand the law to frame this, it would be impossible. Right? So it was lawyers, it was the legal mind, it was the legal fraternity that built this entire architecture. And why am I telling you this? Because it is the architecture that you built that is being destroyed today. And it is being systematically unraveled on every front. Some visible in front of our face and others hidden. I've been speaking recently about the election system. I always had a suspicion that there was something wrong. Right from 2014, I had a suspicion that there's something wrong. Something does not add up. In fact, I'll even go further. I had a suspicion in the Gujarat Assembly elections already. Okay? This ability to win sweeping victories Congress party doesn't get a single seat in Rajasthan, doesn't get a single seat in Madhya Pradesh, doesn't get a single seat in Gujarat. This was surprising to me. And it went on for some time. There was a conversation, but I could never speak because there was no proof. So whenever we spoke, people said, well, where's the proof? And then something happened in Maharashtra, where in the Vidhan Sabha we won the election, hands down. Sorry, in the Lok Sabha we won the election, hands down. And then 4 months later, we didn't just lose, we were obliterated. 3 formidable parties suddenly just evaporated. And that's when I thought that this just cannot be. And so we started right then to look seriously for electoral malpractice. We found it in Maharashtra. Clearly, 1 crore new voters show up between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Bulk of those votes go to the BJP. But still, we didn't have clear proof. So when I would even mention it to our allies, that look, there is clear cheating that has happened, my allies would say to me, yes, we can see that there is cheating that has happened, but we don't have proof. And now I say with absolutely no doubt that we have proof. And we have such proof. We have such proof that will show the whole country that the institution of the Election Commission does not exist, that it has disappeared. It has taken us 6 months, 6 months of non-stop work to find this proof. Why? Because the Election Commission does not give us electronic versions of the voter list. It gives us paper versions, and you'll be shocked to know, as I was, that when they give booth-wise paper versions of the voting list, that document cannot be scanned, it cannot be copied. Meaning you put it into a scanner, nothing comes out. Why would the Election Commission scan protect, copy protect the voter list? Now, you'll be shocked at the amount of detail we've gone into. And you will see, with no doubt, zero doubt, how a Lok Sabha election is stolen. Six and a half lakh voters vote, and 1.5 lakh of those voters are fake. Six and a half lakh voters vote, 1.5 lakh voters are fake. It's on paper. Documentation that we got from the Election Commission. Voter list that we got from the Election Commission. Physical paper. Where we went comparing photograph by photograph by photograph, name by name by name. 6.5 lakh people. Comparing one photograph to 6.5 lakh other photographs. And I'm proud of the work that the Congress party did. And you will see the shockwave that is going to go through the electoral system when we release this data. It's literally like an atom bomb. Because the truth, my friends, is that the election system in India is already dead. Please remember one thing. The Prime Minister of India is the Prime Minister of India with a very slim majority. If 10, 15 seats were rigged, and we suspect actually the number is much closer to 70, 80, 100. If 15 seats were rigged, he would not be the Prime Minister of India. And we are going to prove to you, in the coming few days, we are going to prove to you without any doubt in the coming few days how a Lok Sabha election can be rigged and was rigged. So, it's very clear that the institution that holds this, that protects this, that holds this, that defends this, has been obliterated and taken over. We did not have proof, so we could not make these type of statements earlier. But I'm making this statement confidently because I have 100% proof now. And whoever I have shown it to has fallen off the chair. Literally, they said, how can this be possible? Well, it is possible. It is happening. Right? Who is going to fight this battle? Only you people can fight this battle. Frankly, we non-legal people don't even know how to fight this battle. We can fight the political battle. We can fight the battle on the streets. We can fight in the villages. We can fight in the city. We can't fight in the courts. We don't know how to. And so, you are the people who have to defend the Constitution in the courts. You know, I had a document. We had a document some years back on the Rafale deal. Randeep is looking at me. Document that said clearly, black and white, that the Prime Minister office and the NSA have interfered in the Rafale deal and damaged the Rafale deal. This document itself would have brought down any government in any country of the world. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. You know where the document went. You know where the document died. Nothing happened. I'm fighting 30 cases. Anyone who fights the regime, any political person, anybody who works in the NGOs, civil society knows that the moment you oppose, you will be attacked. You know, I remember when I was fighting the farm laws, and he's not here anymore, so really I shouldn't say it, but I will. And Arun Jaitley ji was sent to me to threaten me. And he said, you know, if you carry on down this path, opposing the government, fighting us on the farm laws, we will have to act against you. I looked at him and said, I don't think you know who you're talking to. I don't think you have an idea who you're talking to. Because we are Congress people. We're not cowards. We're not going to bend. The British couldn't bend us. The superpower couldn't bend us. Who the hell are you? And wherever you look, the problem exists. I mean, I've said it clear as day here that we have 100% proof. Watch the newspapers and the media tomorrow. They'll be talking about Bollywood, about how, about how there was a fantastic dance, amazing solar eclipses taking place, something they'll come up with. And so this is a full-scale attack. And it's not just an attack on the Constitution. Because this book is a manifestation of India's identity. It's a manifestation of our history, of our culture, of our tradition, of our religion. This is not written in 1947, in 1950. This is 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years old. Buddha speaks through this book. Narayana Guru, Basavana, Ambedkar, Periyar, everybody who's been anybody in this country. Right? Anybody who's been, you look, anybody, and in every state there are there. In Assam, Gaurav will tell you. Right? In Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, in Uttar Pradesh, Kabir, there's a list. So this is not something that we dreamt up in 1947 or 1950. This is something, this is our blood. And how dare you attack our blood? Right? So we are not just, we must remember, we are not just defending this red book, this legal document. We are defending our way of life. Right? Tell me which Indian tradition, which Hindu tradition says that you should beat up a Muslim child? Where is it written that you should lynch someone? Which tradition of ours says it? There's not a single tradition of ours that says it. Our tradition says everybody is the same. So these people, they're not attacking our politics. They're attacking us. They're attacking our history. They're attacking our religion. For anybody who understands Hinduism, anybody who has gone into depth in Hinduism, they're attacking Hinduism. And frankly, yesterday my sister said to me, now, personal बात है तो बोलनी नहीं चाहिए, मैं बोल देता हूं, नहीं माफ करूंगा. She said to me, Rahul, you realize that you're playing with fire. And I said, yeah, Priyanka, I am playing with fire. I will continue to play with fire. I'm not scared of playing with fire. I have come here. Look, I am eventually, like most of you, I'm going to end up in the fire. Right? So what is the problem playing with the fire? My family has taught me that. My family has taught me do not be scared of cowards. My family has taught me that the most cowardly thing you can do ever is be scared of a coward. Right? And that's who we are dealing with. You please understand. You please understand that's exactly who we're dealing with. And my sister will tell you. Someday she'll also give a open-hearted speech, and she'll tell you exactly the extent to which the ruling ideology is based in cowardice. So this is the difference between us. You see, when the British came, you stood up and said, we will defend our tradition, our culture, and our way of life. And the RSS said, sir, please tell us what we should do. Sir, please tell us how we can help you. And this is the truth. If it was not the truth, I wouldn't say it. It is the truth. People don't like it, but it is the truth. Gandhiji spent most of his adult life in jail. Nehruji spent most of his adult life in jail. Sardar Patel spent most of his adult life in jail. Why? Because they opposed the British. Show me the RSS leader who did it. So they fear the Congress. The true Congress. You see, they fear the true Congress. And every single one of you have the true Congress inside you. What is the Congress? I'll tell you what the Congress is. What is the Congress? The Congress is, you know, a famous American general, General Patton, who fought in World War II, was asked, what is the difference between a hero and a coward? What do you think his answer was? He says 5 minutes. He says the hero waits 5 minutes and the coward runs away. Right? So the Congress is just simply bravery. It's just bravery. When somebody comes in front of you, says something to you that you don't agree with, and you have the courage to stand up and say, sorry, I don't agree with it. I will not accept it. That's the Congress. Up now, there's another element. You can be courageous and be wrong. Doesn't mean anything. We are going to be courageous, but we're always going to be defending the truth, not defending some lie. And then the final thing, most beautiful thing, we're going to do it non-violently. So we will not, no matter what you do, you cut our arms off, we will not act violently towards you. So these three things, the ability to tell the truth, courage, and then not letting your anger overtake you and go into the zone of violence. This is the Congress. And if you want to define the BJP, just do the opposite. No, बड़ी अच्छी तरह फिट होता है. If you don't have the courage, you deal in untruth, and you're violent, there you are. That's the difference. So I'd like to finish by saying, you're an inspiration to us. I mean, I know when I am navigating, when I am in the कहीं भी डाल दो मैं नेविगेट कर जाऊंगा, बट कोर्ट में मैं नहीं जानता क्या करना है. मुझे कहते हैं, चीमा जी बैठे, मुझे कहते हैं भैया ये बोल मत देना. अभी भी देख रहे हैं, he's looking in my direction and saying ये कुछ मतलब उल्टा सीधा, right? So I don't understand how to navigate that, and you help us navigate that. Singhvi ji helps us navigate that. Chithambaram ji, Kapil Sibal ji is not here, but he also helps us navigate that. You know, so thank you very much. And finally, Singhvi ji, I had an idea while I was sitting there, which was that, you know, every hospital has a blood bank. When you need blood, there's a blood bank. And these days, because of the nature of the RSS and BJP, legal time has become like blood, right? Many people need this. For the Congress people, it's easy. You know, Sukhuji, Singhvi ji, all the top people are there. I need legal services. I can pick up the phone and call Singhvi ji, Chima ji, Chithambaram ji.